Buongiorno everyone, and it is a buongiorno. It is a good morning to be a Newcastle United fan as we have swiftly appointed our new director of football. Out with the old, Titchmarsh is gone, Mitchell is in, not that one. Paul is the man. I'm telling you, we said on the podcast months ago, we did a video on who could be the next sporting director. At that time, everything was pointing towards Dougie Freedman from Palace. He ended up staying at Crystal Palace. Silly Dougie. But thank you very much, Dougie. We like you now because we have got the bigger, better man. I tell you what, this is a sensational appointment for me. Newcastle United have pulled an absolute blinder. Brilliant stuff. Yeah? Wonderful. Can't wait for the rest of this window now. Can't wait. Because Mitchell, I'm telling you, is a top sporting director. Probably even better than Ashworth. So I'll tell you what we've done here. Got 12 million for Dan Ashworth. Some people say it was close at 20, close at a few million. Whatever it was, we got cash for Ashworth, yeah? We got money for him. Got away from trimming his bushes. Got money. Now we've got Mitchell in. I wouldn't have made him Mitchell in the first place. To swap him with Ashworth, get funds from Man United, and then appoint Mitchell. Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. You've even got Goldbridge and that coming out saying, "Oh, fair play, Newcastle. That's a really good appointment." Yes, it is. It is a solid appointment because this bloke has bags of experience. We're going to get into who he is in just a moment, what he's done, who he's signed, his CV, what his dog's name is. We're going to cover it on the channel in just a few minutes. But let's read the official announcement from the club. Put the old spectaroonies on. And away we go. So Newcastle United are delighted to officially announce the appointment of Paul Mitchell as the club's sporting director. He was a former player whose playing career ended early in retirement due to injury. Paul is a well-respected executive with a track record of success. So he started off at MK Dons after that injury, did well there, got a prominent role at Southampton, Spurs, Leipzig, Red Bull Soccer International, and Monaco of most recent. But I'll get into his stuff soon, but it's his Southampton stuff that really impressed me, and Tottenham as well. His success as Director of Scouting Analysis at Southampton helped the club secure promotion back to the Premier League, and from then they were constantly in that top 10. Remember when they were signing the likes of Sadio Mane? That's what Mitchell brought. Mane to the Saints. Wow. And then obviously he got the move to Liverpool with the Champions League. But that team they were assembling there at Southampton was unreal. They were like top 7. Absolutely mental, the job he did there. He did a brilliant job there. They were constantly competing in the top half of the table. And then you look at them now. They've just got promoted again. So what a move by him. What signings he made down there at Southampton, which Newcastle United have described as a unique and progressive recruitment strategy that enabled them to outperform many of its rivals despite having a lower budget. Then he went on to Tottenham, so then he's went for a bigger club. You know, he's went to London, and there is where his reputation grew even further because he had a successful spell there as head of recruitment at Tottenham Hotspur. So at Tottenham, signing the likes of Heung-min Son, bringing Son to Tottenham, one of the best strikers the league's ever seen, let's be honest. He's absolutely unbelievable. World-class son. Been doing it for years now. Also, who he signed at Spurs, Kieran Trippier. We all know, obviously, Trips. He brought him to Spurs from Burnley when no one was really that asked about Kieran Trippier from Burnley. Even Trippier himself has said, he was overweight, he was going out drinking too much. Signed him at Spurs and went on to a Champions League final and stuff. So he signed Trippier, Son, Dele Alli, who now obviously people look at and he's the forgotten man and you say what could have been, but remember that couple of seasons he had at Spurs was phenomenal. They signed him from MK Dons for a few million and he was out of this world. Obviously gone to the England team that season where he was competing with Hazard for like Player of the Year. He might have even got Player of the Year at one point. What was it, like nearly 20 goals, 16 assists, something ridiculous like that he got at one point. Dele Alli, he was on absolute fire. Obviously he's had his troubles off and on the pitch, so like I said, currently, was he still at Everton or something? But at that time, at Spurs, he was unreal. What a signing that was amongst many others at Spurs. Maybe did he even sign Dembele? I think, he's brought unreal signings to Spurs. And like I said, him and Pochettino and that got Spurs to, second in the Premier League. Should have won it, really, when Leicester won it. And a Champions League final. So what an achievement there. He then tested himself abroad, which I always rate as players and managers, and in this case a sporting director, testing yourself overseas. He went over to Germany for RB Leipzig back in 2018 as head of recruitment and club development, combining traditional scouting with data-driven analysis. before moving into a new role as technical director in Red Bull's global football division. So he had a bit of spell there in Germany. In Germany, he signed a few stars as well. Mainly, the one that grabs all the attention is Christopher Nkunku, who is now at Chelsea, and he looks a player, to be fair. Even the odd moment that he did get on last season, because he had an injury-ravaged first season at Chelsea, he does look a talent. We've seen him, obviously, on the international stage as well. Champions League for Leipzig and that. He is class. So what a signing that is for Mitchell on his CV yet again, for that talent ID, is right up there. Listen, you look at these players and where they've went on to now, like I said, Nkunku at Chelsea. I think he'll have a great season next year, Nkunku, if he can stay fit. But in Germany, he was flying, and Mitchell done well there, which then got him the role to Monaco in France in 2020. Monaco obviously had all that money at the time. They were going a bit mad with it. He was appointed there, sporting director, to devise and implement a long-term plan, transform the club's performance and profile, as well as implementing improvements at Belgian club Cercle Bruges, part of the ownership's portfolio. But Monaco were a bit of a shambles, weren't they? They had big plans, kind of fell off a little bit. I think they weren't playing players at one point. So, yeah, not much happened there, but obviously it was more of a background job then. He was dealing with another club and everything. So what I'm looking at Premier League, yeah? Because that's where we are. That's where we want to move up constantly. And he's done that at the other clubs he was there. Southampton, he took them from, relegation contenders. Well, he actually promoted them, to be fair, from the Championship at the time. That team that just lingers around the bottom of the table, took them to like the top 8, signed the likes of Mane, even like Steve Davis and that, who it's not a fancy name, but solid players like that. Alderweireld at Spurs, where he went next. Ali, Trippier, Dembele, Son. The list goes on. Some unbelievable recruitments there, to be fair, and that's in the Premier League. And that's the bread and butter. That's where we're at. So I'm really confident in this appointment. I think it's a brilliant move by the two, getting Paul Mitchell in. And I'm sure he'll go in, do a smashing job, work well with the likes of Eels, Stavely, behind the scenes there, and get cracking. Because this window's open now, baby. And we need to push on. We want to see that right winger brought in, another centre-back, potentially a midfielder, and maybe a forward as well. If Wilson leaves, definitely going to need that. Let's see what Darren Eales said then. Well, we're delighted to welcome Paul to Newcastle. Brings a successful track record and a wealth of experience to the club. His extensive and diverse experience in football leadership, cultural change and recruitment mean he is the ideal person to lead our sporting directorate. We look forward to working with Paul and supporting him in pursuit of our long-term sustainable success. So you've got to look at it. When you looked at the candidates out there, and we did it, like I said, on a podcast a few months ago, you can go back to it on YouTube, talked about Mitchell, Friedman, was it Rui something from Roma? There was the Benfica one as well, I think, and a couple of more. He was the one that would pick, because his CV is by far the best. I think it boasts the most experience, it boasts the best signings, and he looks the part. He looks the real deal. Let's see what the real deal had to say then. Paul Mitchell on joining the Magpies. It's with immense pride that I accept the responsibility of being Newcastle United's new sporting director. Not shying away from it there. Knows it's a big challenge, knows it's a big title. Ready for the job. I've seen the recent growth and ambition of the club. This, plus the amazing fan base, made the decision to join an easy one. I'm sure it is. Do you know what I mean? I was surprised when Friedman turned it down from Palace. Probably shouldn't have been, I guess, because he is the Palace man. Played for them twice, managed them once, settled down there. No ambition from Friedman. Big loser. Rot down there. Didn't want to take the leap. Didn't want to take the jump. Mitchell has. Mitchell's the man. But he's the one there saying, it's an easy decision. You think it would be. You know what I mean? Our project at the club, the way we've been going in recent times, it would excite the majority of people, I would have thought. I can't wait to get started and help continue the organisation's growth and long-term competitiveness in all areas of elite football performance. So Mitchell is the man. He's our sporting director. Big summer ahead for Newcastle United and Paul Mitchell. Who should he sign? Drop in the comments who he should be looking at. His targets, I'm sure we've got them already behind the scenes, and Mitchell is ready to press the button on a couple of them. Maybe he's got different ideas. Maybe he's got some talent IDs spread across Europe, and he's got some scouting going on there where he's already got a big list of players, I'm sure, and hopefully we're the lucky club that lands on our lap of targets of his, and they work out well, like the Manes, like the Sons that have done in his previous experience. Great stuff that for Newcastle United. Quality start of the day, great announcement, top appointment. I'm very, very happy with it. Are you? Let me know in the comments below. Didn't find out his dog's name. I'm going to go for Mitch, Butch, Rocky. Don't know. Just drop in the comments what you think his dog's called as well. Really, we're going a bit wacky here on this Thursday morning. Let me get this uploaded for you lot. Subscribe to the channel and enjoy yourselves.